Hello, my name's Elizabeth Harrin from the blog The Money Files. Earlier on this year I spoke at the PMXPO Conference, the online conference around project marketing and how you can best communicate your projects. After that presentation there were a number of questions and I wasn't able to get round to everybody and answer them all, so I wanted to answer a couple today. First, I was asked the question, how do you communicate with stakeholders in different time zones? I think the answer to that is that it's really hard. There's a real difficulty when you've got your team spread across different time zones and you need to look for types of communication tool that can help you do that. Probably the best way to try and communicate is to use asynchronous communication tools. That's where one party communicates and then the other party can pick up those messages at a time that suits them. For example, email or an online document repository or a discussion thread where you can post your questions and then somebody else comes back to you later. However, that's not going to cut it in every situation and you are going to need to have face-to-face or at least virtual conference calls at some times during your project. When that's the case, my advice would be to alternate who has to get up early or stay late in the office to attend those calls. If the time difference isn't too great between the teams, you should be able to find a slot that is either at the beginning of the day or the end of the day and it's still within working time. You're not asking people to stay later. If they are in very different time zones where that's not going to be possible, then you are going to have to make some sacrifices or some compromises. It is difficult. I think the best thing to do is to talk to your team about what's practical and what they feel would work for them. You may find that somebody doesn't mind coming to a call at 8 o'clock in the morning if they can leave later in the afternoon, if they can leave earlier in the afternoon and get home that bit sooner. So try a couple of different ways and find out what works best for your team, but there are some examples there of tools that you can try. The second question I want to address today is to the person who asked, which communication tool is best? Now, I can't answer that. Frankly, there is no single answer to what tool is best because that's not really the right question. What we should be asking is what tool is best for these people and in these situations. If you know what tool is best for a particular individual, so for example your stakeholder loves to chat on instant messaging, then that's obviously the best thing for them. That might not be best for somebody else who prefers an email or a traditional project report. There's lots of different criteria that contribute to what is best, and you're going to have to look at really what it is you're trying to achieve. Best to communicate to a large group, for example, is not going to be the same as best to communicate one-to-one a situation where someone is going to be made redundant. You choose two very different tools. So I know that's probably not the answer that you wanted to hear, because it's nice to be able to say, yep, exactly, do this all the time and it will definitely work. But in reality, we have to apply our professional judgment to every situation to choose the tools that are best. I've been Elizabeth Harrin from the blog The Money Files. I hope you found that useful, and there are plenty more videos on my YouTube channel, so why not take a look?